Well, let me tell you a little bit about the network of FranklinCovey Education. We have over 2,500 schools located in 40 plus countries around the world. And we have some countries that are just starting out, just have one or two schools, or they're just starting to develop the program in their own language. But we have other countries that have hundreds of Leader in Me schools. The total number of international Leader in Me schools outside the U.S. Proper is about 2,500. We're approaching about 6,000 total Leader in Me schools throughout the world. Well, I think the Leader in Me network of schools can play a role for schools in Germany simply because it is a global network of like-minded educators who are all believing in teaching these life skills, social emotional skills to the students through the 7 habits and through these leadership principles. And it's really a powerful group. This is really a force for good in the world. These schools can collaborate with each other. In fact, we're launching this year a new process called Global Connect. And we're going to match schools up who want to connect with other schools in other countries to share classroom conversations, to work on service projects together, and just share what they're doing. You know, cultural intelligence and global awareness is really an important skill for leaders. Leaders in communities and leaders in nations, but just the general population today. We come in contact with so many people from so many different backgrounds, and the ability to get along with people that aren't like us, who have different views than us, is critical for leaders and for everyone in the world today. The Leader in Me is really uniquely positioned to be able to help children develop these kind of skills. Well, we have a wonderful Leader in Me school in Romania. It's called Transylvania College, and this school the students in the school decided that they wanted to do something to help the refugees. And this school of Leader in Me students decided that they were going to raise money to help the refugees. And so they said, we're going to have one day, and it was actually, I think, the 1-month anniversary of the invasion of Ukraine. And they had a Humanity Day, and they invited Leader in Me schools around the world to participate. And they wore the blue and yellow, the colors of Ukraine, and they had fundraising activities. And they talked about, why war is bad, and they had assemblies. And actually, FranklinCovey and I had the opportunity to travel to Romania and be with the students the day they did it. It was a magnificent event. They raised a lot of money. And while we were at that school, we actually got to meet with Ukrainian refugees who had come over the border, and they were actually in our Leader in Me school as students at the time. And it was just a wonderful experience. This is the power of this global network of schools, and we really can be a force for good in the world by doing these kind of activities together. I think part of the process of becoming a leader is having that opportunity to lead. And we, in Leader in Me schools, we help students, of course, lead their own lives, but we also develop these skills when they go out into the workforce and into their families and into society. They can lead others, be an example to others, and lead themselves. So this whole concept of, let the children do everything they can and empower them to do it. We believe students should be empowered to lead their own learning. And Leader in Me schools foster that in the students by letting them take leadership roles and lead the process in their school. They're a lot smarter than we give them credit for. And they have genius. And the way they're going to develop that is by allowing them to utilize it and practice it. And that's really one of the great aspects of the Leader in Me. Well, the beautiful thing about the Leader in Me is it's based on the 7 habits of highly effective people, which is based on universal principles. And the 7 habits is used all over the world. It's been around for decades, and it's based on these principles. They work everywhere. And we have found that the Leader in Me, since it's based on these principles, it works everywhere. Principles of leadership are the same everywhere. And the beauty of the Leader in Me is that when we take it to a new country, we can localize it into that language. And that doesn't mean just translating what we're saying, but we can adapt the Leader in Me, the process of implementing it in a school, to meet the cultural needs, the educational system in that country. And that has allowed us to take it anywhere in the world. So, some countries have very strict regulations around how schools operate in their countries, or the government has rules. And we can adapt the process. As long as we keep those foundational principles taught in the school, we can find a way to make it work in any country. I have no doubt that it's going to be very, very big and important and play a great role in education in Germany.